after the big bombs. That's when they really started like ramping up their presence. Like if you look at all the reports, the flying saucer reports, they're all like 1947, 1950, 1952.
If you cross-engineer our shit, it's going to show up on our radar at some point. Like, this information is...
Especially when we're using that information very recklessly. Wild. Just
even in the Bible
cities.
story, the Tower of
Babel.
Right.
Yeah.
This story is that, you know, with everybody speaking the same language, it intensified shit getting done.
Yeah.
And they could do stuff that was hazardous.
I think they're very close to being able to translate language instantaneously in real time. Because they can do it right now with Samsung phones. They have the new Galaxy S24
Animals
Ultra.
are doing it worldwide.
Oh, for sure. They have some sort of a language. They have some sort of a communication. There's something going on with animals that's nonverbal.
And with all of and with all of us.
You know Tom Green? You know Tom Green, right?
Yes.
Tom Green was here, and he has a mule. And he said that you have like a connection with that animal where you know you want to go left, and you start like looking left, and that thing starts going left. He goes, it's really crazy. It's spooky. He goes, you develop it. It takes time. They have to earn your respect. But once you develop this like loving relationship with this animal, you're tuned into it like an avatar creature. Just like when they would lock on to their dragons. He's like, dude, it's like that.
I have that with women. and with ducks and geese and Canadian geese and goats, like I have. No, but understand, again, that's part of some religion's story, is that one of the gifts was the relationship between humans and the animal world. And it's something that all civilizations have been able to use, and it's stayed true, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing the relationship humans have with animals.
Yeah,
especially
whether it's a
dogs.
horse. No, there's no especially. Like, all
of them
we
have their own
abuse
beautiful
some of
thing.
them, and it...
Well, just horses don't interact with people the same way a dog does. That's all I'm saying. It's like the interaction you have with dogs is almost like psychic. Like dogs are like your little friends, you know. They know when you're in a bad mood. They know when you hurt your foot, you know. They when they're happy to see you every fucking time, bar none.
I have that relationship with everybody that's, all animals and like special needs people. It's the innocence and the purity that you get. It's not always good. But it's so.
We can learn from them.
No, we have learned.
Yeah, we should know it, but we're scared. People are scared of other people being shitty, and we put up like shields, and we worry about.
Well, it's been proven
people. That's real
historically that. You know,
yeah, it has.
Cain and Abel is a real story. That, like, you know what I mean? Like, people are so violent these days, and that's true. But people have been violent. Like, there was this point where humankind learned that they could take a life, and it changed things. You know,
well, especially take a life quickly, with like when they figured out swords and bows and arrows and shit. What do you think the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is about? Because I was just reading that last night. Cleanliness? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what took them out? That, like, plague?
Okay.
Because
this is 69 times I've gotten canceled in this one conversation.
The stories of Sodom and Gomorrah, there's two speculations. Right. One of them was that God decided that they weren't hospitable enough. And the other one was God had decided that there was too much sin.
Wait a minute, that's not speculation, that's in the book.
Right.
That first one.
Right, but the respectability part, that they were not hospitable enough.
Yeah, that was a part of it.
That's part of it too. So God had just decided this. I'm gonna fuck up this whole city.
No.
Right. What's the real story though?
Okay, so
turned it into pillars of salt. 2 cities, right? And he said, "Find me 50 good men, and I won't do this." And then I think he said, "Find me 10 good men."
Okay, so this story is generally used to say that God doesn't like homosexuals. This is the story that highlights that.
Okay, so it's not just sin. It's not just because sodomy is even technically like oral sex.
The meaning of that word comes from
Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Right.
So that's why I said it includes a lot of things people think is deviant sex. Yo, I gotta piss so bad. Can we come back to this? Sodom and Gomorrah. Come back to this.
I
gotta
would
take a
love
leak.
that.
Okay, let's take a leak. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. So it tells several stories, but there had to be an explanation for what the story said happened to 2 cities of people, right?
Right. There had to be a reason to tell that story. Most likely.
To tell this story, it requires all of those people to really have been killed in those circumstances. And the historical evidence shows us that something like that happened. Like, those 2 cities really did exist.
Do we know where Sodom and Gomorrah was?
Are you kidding? I know a guy who will pull that information up so fast and
Really?
put it on a screen.
Young Jamie? Like, is there speculation as
his
to what part?
sidekick is awake now. You're gonna see the
Carl.
best part of him when Carl wakes up.
Carl's awake now. He's a 3:30 waker.
Right. As we all would be if we were in charge of our schedules.
Yeah, probably. What do they think that it? Like, is there real speculation as to where it was?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they think it was?
It's not speculation. A lot of these places just changed names. Like, they used to be called this, and then they later were called something else. But
like Iraq used to be Sumer.
Right. Yeah. Like, these are literal places that you can find on the real map. That was a part of that biblical rabbit hole I was telling you about. Is just seeing my only concern is, how do these ancient Islamic, Judea, how do you say that, those 3 that exist, that all religion is built on, Judeo-Christian, Islamic, that whole belief system.